Yeah, guys. How about that? Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and I got my furnace going. Yeah, I love it. I'm trying some other heaters, dish heaters and things, but so far, boy, that propane really does the job. So listen, thanks for a few minutes. We're going to get started on this interior a little bit. This is not going to be the best camera work because I'm going to be talking a little bit more, but here, come on with me. If you look here, headliner cap, what I did here is, oh man, come on. This panel, I took this panel out, it went across here, and you can see that what it's done, this cap is an ABS plastic loose cap, all right? And a lot of you guys, this cap is really brittle, all right? In the late model coaches, underneath here is all blown foam like everything else. In the 73s and some 74s, there's a piece of insulation up there like the pink stuff that's absolutely petrified. All right, so when you take it out, just know that you're going to put it in a little plastic bag and walk it right out because it just makes a huge mess. This plastic ABS piece is stuck into this top piece right here. It's underneath this metal ledge, aluminum ledge right there. Okay, it tucks right in there, and then up here at the front, it goes right. They actually cut it. They had to cut every one of them to fit because of the way the mold was made, but it fits right into there. Now, I noticed in that one guy's coach, he had kept those aluminum pieces. Well, those are fine, and actually it gives the edge some strength. Now, there's like, say there's 6 screws in it. 3 of them are actually rivets into the plastic where the aluminum is held to it. And then 3 of them are machine screws that go into inserts in the plastic roof. If you can get them out and clean and back in, it's a perfect spot to hold that up in there. And that little lip there holds it in. Now I took it off. I took it off. But it took more screws through here to hold it up. You follow what I mean? So you may want to leave it in there, maybe, paint it or something. It is a good track. And a lot of people say, well, that track is, those nail slide tracks are really tough, to pull and stuff. Here's the trick. On a nail slide, like across here, just pull up on the material, because the nail slide, it's in a slot and it doesn't want to slide. But if you pick it up, lift up, and then move it and let it down, that's how those nail slides work. You follow what I'm saying? Okay. So leaving that in there and using that as a curtain is not a bad idea. Even if your curtain only goes from the edge, even if it only goes from here to there, to the, well, I'm terrible with this camera, to the lip right there. Right? Even if it only goes that far, because it would bunch up real small. And if you can bring it to here, then the rest of the thing, you can put out one of those pop-out blinds for your car, Those work out real nice in here. If you do want to go all the way everybody else did, well, that's cool. But just know that it bunches up a little bit on the sides. But that's fine. You do need to kind of address this because you lose a lot of heat, you lose a lot of cold. Hey, and if you're in your skivvies, you need to cover something. So you may want to consider it. Now, what I did, quite seriously, I just made a chrome bubble foil pattern, and just roll it out and just throw it in there. One, it's insulation. Two, is privacy. Here recently, I haven't used it in so long that it almost fell apart, so I need to make another one. But if you can think about this, if you can do a curtain or something that pulls just these side windows, just the side windows, the rest of it can be done with other means. Okay. All right. Now, this is ABS plastic, and it's very, very brittle. You can see the place to hold it. See that screw right there? That holds this up in line with right here, which is where we're going to be working. So this screw that I put in right into this lip right here is the screw that holds this in place. You tuck it up underneath there, you push it up there, and you put a screw on each side. You can see over here I've got one too. All right. Now, I covered this. Of course, it's one of those things. It's a faux gator. It's cute. I had to heat it up, and then I used weldwood. It's made by DAP, weldwood Landau top adhesive. Sprayed it out and contoured it. When I came to here, this lip right here is where your cross curtain was put. And most folks take it out. It actually is a pretty good, if you want to block off the heat kind of a thing, you may want to leave it in there. But when you do, see, that's a recess. It's molded in its recess, and then here it's a little lower. So what I did is I brought a single panel right to there, brought it just even to there, nice finished look. A couple of screws here that ties it into this one. You follow? Okay. So this piece, I told you about that filler piece between the front and the back. Right here, this is a 6-inch piece here. You can do all kinds of different things to finish it off, trim it off, pull it together. You know, you can get creative on that. But that blocks the front from the back. Now, if you have cracks in this thing, take some PVC/ABS glue. You've seen that at the hardware store, and get some what's called tiger hair, or get some fiberglass mesh and break it up and kind of make a like a slurry kind of a thing. You paint that onto the back, because that PVC ABS glue will bite into this ABS plastic. And you can get it mostly, there are a lot of other glues and things, epoxies, that's true. Okay, but I'm kind of shifting from having a shop and having everything available to what can I get at local places to help you guys out. All right, so PVC ABS glue made into a slurry back in the back of it. Now, as you can see, the material has this gator pattern, so mine had a few cracks in it. So that took care of that, because that retextured the whole thing. Okay, not that I think you need to put gator pattern, and it was a mesh back vinyl that did not want a curve like that, but I wanted it. And so this proves that it can be done. You have to use heat, and you've got to stick it in the middle. Sometime I'll show you how to stick one of these. It's a little bit tricky. All right, so we got to here. And we pull this panel off, and now we split it right here. Right? Right here. Okay. Now, before we go further, I did do a video on insulation. I'm not going to do it now, because I know you guys want to get into this wall and how to do this. But you want to put insulation in this stuff. And when we get this broke down, I'll get back into the installation and I'll show you more about it. Okay? All right. So this is some of the stuff that, this is the original stuff. Now, I think it was kind of interesting. You know, you see guys online on the internet doing very similar things, taking things apart. But the difference is, thing I like to watch them, is that they're just tearing it up. Oh, look what's in there. I was like, yeah, you know, as soon as you pull that off, this piece is going to come. I talk to the TV when the guys are doing that. So what I wanted to do here is to let you guys in on as I take this apart, it's going to be kind of like a forensics thing. Not just to see what's there, but I know what's there. Let's see how much of it lasted, right? Let's see how much of the original stuff is there. Now, we've had coaches at the shop. When you have 20,000, 26,000 square feet, big building, you know, you can take this whole coach apart and spread it all out there and just go pick. And, you know, it's kind of fun to do that. But if you don't have the space to do that, it's a real mess, because you're touching everything on the inside. And if you don't have a place to lay it out outside, or to lay out what you're doing and, you know, go do something here and that, it makes it very difficult. All right. So I want to pose to you something. I'm talking to you survivors now. Guys that are building the whole coach, you'll still pick up some stuff as I do this. But right now, this is JG. I love JG, my coach. Janie and I are his coach. And I like the way it looks, you know, and I like it as a survivor. The motor I've got kind of running. I got the dash kind of the way I want it, you know, gator and all this. I like this interior. I'm going to treat this like a survivor. And I'm going to treat it like one guy is going to be working on this thing. Me. Or you. Okay? Not a team like I used to have. One of the things, you do it with a team for so long, you realize that you don't have to necessarily do it that way. Okay? Boy, you feel that heat. No, I love it. I know that the little bit of noise here may be in the way, but just bear with it. I didn't put the microphone on this time, and I figured I'd mess it up anyway. So just bear with me on the sound on this one too. All right? So, how do I take this interior apart without making a huge mess? The front has to do with plastic panels, fixing plastic panels, refinishing them, and then doing installation and planting holes. The next section of the coach, which goes from the door right here this way, okay, to right here. This is our brake, remember? Okay. So this is the first part we're going to deal with. Only. I'm not even going to strip any of the stuff out. Just going to work on this first section. And I'm only going to work on this window. Yeah. Okay? And you say, how do you do that? Well, it's a natural break. Remember I told you right here, there's an H mold. On a GM floor plan, on the original floor plan units, there's an H mold that runs about 3 inches below the window. It's just under about 3 inches. And it splits the sidewall. Now, you guys that have Royales or Coachmen or some of the Transmodes, they built that whole wall in one piece. Why'd they do that? Because that's how they did stuff. I mean, the production that they were doing, they did the whole wall at one time. Okay? But GM looked at it and said, we might want to have a lower wall different than the upper wall We might not have a window there at all, so the upper wall could be just a flat panel. So they split, and I thought it was a great idea, right here. And we can use that and only dig in from here to here. Right? Now, you say, well, wait a minute, you don't have a cabinet. You're right. And normally you'd say, well, like this cabinet would be in the way. Okay? But think about this a minute. This cabinet has got bolts going right here, going straight up. 1, 2. It's got 2 going straight back. This cabinet is not touching the wall. It's 1.5 inches at the top, right here at the very top. It's 1.5 inches from the back of the cabinet to the wall. Okay, it's 1.5 inches. So, think about this. You don't necessarily have to move the sofa, because behind the sofa is the lower wall. You see? And it matches. I love the way that Jim did it. He matched the sofa to the back wall. So when you put it down, it kind of looks nice. So I'm going to at least keep the material on the lower panel. And I don't need to move it right now, because all that I need to deal with, again, this is a scissor sofa. Which actually, that sofa is as comfortable as the bed in the back, honestly. All we need to deal with is from here to here. Right? Alright, so let's do this. I'm sure you have your American flag somewhere. Now, when you build your interior, think about this. Build it where you can take it apart. Don't build it in where you seal it and all this, and it's going to take you 35, 40 minutes or an hour to get into it. Okay? Now, the way this was made, this is a window box. Now, if you see over here, if you see right here, I can take this cabinet piece off and the cabinet goes right to here. Okay? So, let's act like I have a cabinet here. Okay? Let's act like I have a cabinet here. And I've taken all the stuff out of the cabinet. The cabinet is, oh, this is kind of interesting. The cabinet that goes from the galley to here is exactly twice the size of the cabinets in the bedroom. So, if you took the 2 bedroom cabinets, bolted them together, they would fit right here. Cool, huh? If you wanted to have more open area, this coach never had a cabinet here. When you walked in, it really felt big, and you turned around and, oh, there was a cabinet there on the passenger side. I love the way it opened up so much that I took that cabinet off as well. So the living area is very open, very big feel. I like that. And what he did on the window treatment is he built a window box. It's a good thing, because I came back later and made a very male-oriented blind. Rolled up, right? That's kind of cool. If you have a window box, you can do a lot of different things, right? In the past, what we did is we built vertical valances, one on each side, that were color keyed to the wall, so they kind of went away. in this application, I kind of like the wood. I like the way it looks, you know? So here's what we're going to do. The way Jim made these, the front of the box, the window box is screwed in. Oh, by the way, this is it's a goofy looking screw gun. And you know, you look at new screw guns, there's 20 volt, 24 volt, and all this stuff. And boy, you could ram a screw right through the thing. But of all the years, this is a very, very old. This was like that circa 2000 Snap-on, very expensive. But it's only a 7.2. Right? And you say, well, I don't really need that much more. And I like this long handle. So rather than the bulk of a big old screw gun that I got to turn down, over the years I kept buying new ones. And as we were cleaning up the co-op, cleaning all the residue out, they all showed up. I bought a battery. Love my little screw gun. All right, so you pick your weapon. And what we're going to do here, just bear with me, we're going to take out the perimeter screws on this box. The way he made this is with biscuit joints. And each one of them is floating. So it's not a one piece where it doesn't fit. You know, it's got 4 corners and 4 sides. So that's one side. One thing, when you do have it all screwed together, you have screws. I want to make them look clean. I'm going to clean these up. Over the years, there's some water got in there, so I'm going to clean all this stuff up. Comes off in pieces, sections. Can't get them lost. Now we'll do the top one. Heavy. This piece right here, if you're doing a headliner, we're going to have another talk, because what I did with this is an original headliner panel that I used the Wellwood adhesive. And actually use the original material. See how it's bowed down a little bit? But this is a 73, so it's a one-piece panel. You can't buy them like that. You have to do them in sections. And my idea was, mine was in pretty decent shape, had a little bow into it, but I kept it. Okay? You know, how far do you go? What do you do? So I kept my headliner panel and I covered it in place. And I left. In your coach, you have a 4-inch plastic panel right here, okay? That you try to take it off, it falls apart, all right? Well, if yours is like that and it's tore up, look up online Panduit, Panduit. Panduit makes wire chase runs, and Panduit makes a 4-inch wire chase that the front panel, made in 4-foot sections, fits exactly over underneath. If I pulled this off, I need something to cover that wire chaser where the wall comes up and the headliner comes up. And that tears out, Panduit, 4-inch Panduit cover. You can buy those. Or, you know, a lot of guys get kind of nifty with wood panels and what have you. There's a lot of ways to do this. But in my situation, it was in good shape. And I left it, just glued right over it, you know? All right, next thing here is the window treatment. I made this so I could take it out easy. There it is. Now, this window box has a piece at the top. Which the window box at the top had the curtain screwed to it. Self-tapping screws, top panel. Side panel has hinges or L brackets right here screwed into the side. Coming out from behind, and we have this little plastic trim right here. This one, the original is still in there. See, here's this panel. It had L brackets that were screwed into the side of the wall. Okay. Now we have the lower panel. Straight slide. That's been on there a while. The side panel. All right, so let's look at what we have here. This is an original wall. This 1-inch or 2-inch plastic trim here, corners, you'll see there's screws on them because they need to be held down. Get these off. A lot of you guys may not have these, maybe all in bad shape at the bottom. If they are, hang on to them because as you see, you never see them at the top. So if you actually are going to reuse these, which we never did, I'll show you other options. The ones at the top are going to be in better shape than the ones at the bottom. Well, that's an original screw right there. Yeah. Come on out of it. We're not going to reuse this stuff. There. A lot of these are in really bad shape. What we're going to do is we're going to make the sidewall come out to where this is. Where it is on the window, right there. So your new side panel will take the same size as this, and then we're going to put what's called a bulb trim seal. I'll show you a little bit of that. We're going to put a bulb trim seal on here so you can't look on the other side of this. Now these panels, as you guys know, this is an early style coach. These panels are are really, really in there. All right, I'm gonna stop this video now. We're at oh my goodness, we went way too long. I'm gonna stop this video now. You can see where we're at. The big trick here is we only did right here. Okay, so if you got a survivor, do it right there. All right. Again, this is a little bit longer. I wanted to try to make them about half this length, so bear with me. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Ranch hands. This will be in the video in the library. So see you next time.